Hello, hello, welcome in. We are here to cover some of the Open Qualifiers 2 here for the 2024 spring season of NACL. We have our 32 seed team here, Misfits, taking on the number 1 seeded team, Blue Otter. Blue Otter took over the roster that won the last Open Qualifiers in Aporia here. Now they'll face off against the 32 seed. On paper, you would think that would be a given, that this is going to be a dominating performance here for our number 1 seeded team. But there's... Here, hold on. I almost forgot. Let's get rid of this. There we go. There's some craziness that did happen. There was a team that dropped out of the Open Qualifiers, the actual 32 seeded team. And then Misfits, team that registered late and normally wouldn't have been able to participate because of the late registration, were able to narrowly skate on through. And this team... Well, you can't see it here. Well, at least I can't. I'll try to make it a little easier for all of you to see. This team of Misfits is a pretty good team. They've got Cozy Shroud in the top lane, Baeko as their jungle, Dillon, who's a newer face on the scene, as their mid laner, Selfish as the ADC, and Dal Byul as the support. So these are actually a lot of really good players across the board here for Misfits. That's why I actually think that despite it being the number 1 seeded team versus the number 32 seeded team, there is a good chance this ends up as an upset. But of course, Blue Oyster are still the number 1 seeded team. They did win Open Qualifiers 1 just this last time. They've got a lot of great players. Lawrence has been a solid rock star for Aporia before, now Blue Oyster. You want to say Blue Oyster. Blue Otter here. Samikin has been a player that I've had my eyes on for quite some time here in this mid lane, but he is on karma duty, so I'm not as thrilled. And it's not with the Xin Zhao. Instead, it is with Vi for music, which doesn't make me all too thrilled in this matchup. But I'm curious to see how this is going to perform here. Really looking towards Lynx as being the hyper carry on Aphelios with rovex on Melio. A lot kind of put into the wheelhouse of making either Lynx or Lawrence lead the charge for the team in both carry performances and physically for Lawrence. While on the other side, we got Cozy Shroud here, this top lane. Had taken a break for a bit in the amateur scene. Now playing the AD Twisted Fate top lane. There's some crazy picks here for Misfits across the board. That ADTF that we get for Cozy, but also getting Lee Sin for Baeko. Kind of a classic. He's a very aggressive jungler. And you got the Talia mid lane for Dillon. Well, Kaisa, Rel, we can see how much they're struggling here into the Aphelios Melio lane. Once we get these team fights, that is a all-in composition pretty much across the board. Even if you think about it, Cozy can, in a weird way, play very aggressively too on Twisted Fate if he has a good Destiny gate opened, that he joins the rest of the team in battle. It'll be kind of a pseudo ADC for the team. Really, it's going to be off of Dal Byul here as the support to be the instigator of a lot of things. Maybe Baeko as well on Lee Sin. If they can get a good kick, especially on someone like Lynx, we see mid lane Dillon. That was a good use of trying to get the seismic shove, but Music was wise to his plays. Gets first blood here for Blue Otter. Striking early into this game. Well, semi-early. About 4 minutes into the game. So not all that early, but early enough. And I was about to say, unfortunately, the jungler getting it, but it works here with the mid lane karma. Well, I am someone who does enjoy my mid lane karma. You don't really need those kills. You do want to spread them out, and getting your Vi to get a kill early is going to help with bot lane. We see that Misfits flashing for this play onto Lynx to make sure they pick up the kill, and nice from Baeko to tag rovex and get a lot of damage back onto him. But the fact that they already got all this damage onto Selfish seems that the rest of Misfits just gonna secure pushing the the bot lane into the turret here and get as many minions crashing, deny as much experience to Lynx as possible. Good answer there from Misfits. I like that play. I even really like that Sonic Wave that he tagged onto rovex. was a really sneaky move there. Ooh, but Lawrence, a good trade there. On to Cozy, but Cozy, the range advantage here in this top lane. Something we don't see too often, but I've seen it a lot. I know Viper, back when we saw him a lot in LCS as well as the Challengers/Academy League, liked playing a lot of the Vayne top lane. This Vayne kind of functions in a weirdly similar way to Vayne top, especially when you go this AD route. You can see I already have those Swifties. We zooming across the map. And I like it too because you see that Music already making a play towards the top half of the map. But when you have something like Twisted Fate, once he gets level 6, it's hard to properly secure control around some of these objectives. Music is going to be the first one on the call, already scaring away Baeko from the play, even getting Samikin moving around. You can take a look there. There we go. Getting a little bit of poke. Oh, what'd I do? Push the wrong button. This is why casting and observing isn't always the easiest. But there we go. All 3 of Void Grubs are going to be picked up here by Blue Otter. I'm trying to think of a cool otter fact, but I don't have any off the top of my head. I should have done that before. I should have thought of cool otter facts. Cool otter fact, they're not actually blue. In fact, I don't think of any otters being blue, unless you painted them. But that's weird if you painted an otter. Why would you paint an otter? Otters are already cool. I do know that they like to eat on their bellies, and they also hold hands with each other to make sure they don't float away from one another while they sleep, which I think is very cute. Also, otters are predators. People kind of forget about that and forget that about them. They are indeed predators. And speaking of predators, see Baeko back in the spot lane. Ready to find some more prey, but Samikin and Music, they were ready to move around. Music's actually already on top of the dragon, pulling that out. Sonic Wave not going to connect, so Baeko will know the jungler is on this bottom half of the map. Even spotting out that Samikin went back into the mid lane. But instead, we'll just go get his red buff. Falling a little bit behind since he has... I mean, it's not like it was a bad play. It was a really good play, getting the kill in the bot lane. But the fact that Music has only had that play in the mid lane and was able to get the Void Grubs after that, had that experience slightly ahead of Baeko. While mid lane, Samikin gets a root onto Dillon. A couple pebbles thrown back and forth as the Inner Flame only did a little bit of damage back onto Dillon. Oh, but that Mantra one. Mantra Inner Flame going to do a lot more to Dillon. So Dillon will have to go back to base. Get far away from here. Even see some of the pings. Samikin really did want to fish to find Dillon. Just giving a little bit of time to Music to actually invade. Try to secure some of these chicken nuggets away. Missing the Vault Breaker. Has that damage back. Gotta be careful though. That could be the kick. Cease and desist. Here's Samikin on the other side. Give it a shield. It was ward hop away. Smite secure. Music taking away those chicken nuggets. Denying a little bit of experience here to Baeko. You know, it has been some time since I've seen Baeko play. In fact, I'm gonna do this really quick just to see. When was the last time I really saw Baeko playing? They did not participate in the Open Qualifiers 1. Here we go. Oh, but we got an engage in the bot lane. Nice Magnus Orb. rovex actually getting eviscerated there while the Moonlight Vigil did not connect at all. That is going to be the killer instinct coming in from the Selfish. And with Music on the other side trying to disengage, they got the Shattering Strike. Waiting it all out. Selfish getting so much damage in the Weaver's Wall. Dillon not able to deny the escape there from Music as he was able to barely get away. Only the 1 kill, but good play there in the 2v2. Dal Byul making a really good call. Just going for the full-on engage, saying, all right, we can easily kill them really quickly here. Well, mid lane, bit of a skirmish again. Dillon gets rooted in place. The flash in with the Vault Breaker, but not having that ult anymore. Having used that beforehand, it's the kick. The show up here from Baeko with the shove onto Music. Tries to go for the Vault Breaker, but dies. All the while, Lawrence flashing forward, smashing down, trading 1 for 1. Samikin, though, did not want to continue the dive with Lawrence taking up the turf for so long. So instead, it'll just be the 2 junglers that fall. While rovex is on the other side. Gonna get the soccer ball kick, help out. Does connect it. Samikin did not want to risk taking 1 turret shot there and having another rock thrown at his face. Here we go. So Baeko. There we are. Baeko, yeah, he took all of 2023 off, it looks like. I'm looking that up. I'm like, when was the last time I saw you play? Because they were a sub on CLG Faith back in the day, back in 2022. We're on Arizona State. Wow, Samikin getting attacked here by Dal Byul. Taking a lot of damage there. Surprisingly so, while the root comes through in the bot lane with a nice soccer ball kick. Samikin, that is the problem. Rel not really going to have that much damage when you're support. Samikin was able to get away. All the while, there are some back and forth plays been happening here. Oh my goodness, I can speak. Speaking of which, Music actually using Cease and Desist. Inner Flame with the Monster Q. Samikin will strike and get another kill in this mid lane. Dillon struggling now to lay into Samikin's Karma. Only minor leads here so far for Blue Otter. Not quite 1,000 separating the two teams. Really just that dragon. That's really kind of what's making it the make or break at the moment for either team. Hextech Dragon is nice. Of course, you would rather have the soul itself. And having that ability haste, the attack speed is going to help out a lot of these members on the side of Blue Otter. And denying that over for Cozy Shroud, especially this AD Twisted Fate. It's funny. I remember, I've been talking about this quite a bit, that a lot of people were playing that the AD LeBlanc for so long. Now that's completely gone. That flavor of the month is dead. It is all about the AD Twisted Fate. But while the AD LeBlanc was happening, I'm like, why aren't people just doing that with Twisted Fate? It's literally the same thing, if not better. You have at least some ratios that work with your kit on that. You have great mobility in your Destiny Gate. Of course, when you're in the fight, you're not going to have that great of mobility. But the fact you don't have to go for a TP, but now we look at the mid lane. Talk about that Destiny Gate. Samikin's got nowhere to go. No flash either. The crash down. Everyone showing up to the party in the mid lane to make sure they get a kill for Dillon off of Samikin. But that was a good read there. This is kind of why I like that Twisted Fate. Just how quickly you can move around the map. Well, AD LeBlanc, sure, can also move around pretty quickly. Not quite like that. But as I was saying, the TP, since you forego that usually as this ADTF, does mean that when you use the Destiny Gate for a play somewhere, it means you can't show up elsewhere, you can't get back into lane, so Lauren's doing a good job of punishing that while the TP here into the spot lane, trying to secure control around the dragon. It would be the second one of the game for the Blue Otters. And scaring away 4 of the members strong here for the side of Misfits. The Misfits unable to really answer this. They do still have Dillon and Baeko on the other side. You can see that it goes on the red buff on the mini-map. Dillon showing up mid lane. Once that happens, we knew there was not going to be any answer onto the dragon, just forfeiting that. It's only the second one of the game. Not all that devastating for Misfits. So they're fine with it. Now that it is an Infernal Rift that we have, you can get a lot of those little Bard minions, well, the Bard Cinders. I know they just call it Cinders, but it's essentially just a Bard mechanic, but for everybody. That you can collect, and it gives you ability haste and attack speed. Oh, selfish face checking. Don't want to face check that one. Does use Killer Instinct to get a lot of distance, flashing away from the Moonlight Vigil. But they re-engage. They got Dal Byul with a huge Magnet Storm. It's going to be the Breath of Life on the rovex, but rovex has to be careful. Flashing away because there's Dillon with music helping out a lot. 4v3 denied on the side of Misfits. A lot of damage back onto Dillon as they're able to connect the Q from Aphelios. Samikin debating whether he wants to join in as well. Decides they can fall back and collect the blue buff as the play did not work out. Nobody, surprisingly, falling for either side. Really surprised that Selfish. Oh my God, why am I struggling to say this? Selfish did not fall there. Why's that word so hard? Now Lauren's getting a lot of damage there onto Cozy, all the while Music was trying to invade here against Baeko. But we'll just take the empowered blast cone away. Because they already got control, they got Selfish out of the bot lane, they can collect the first brick gold and get that over to Lynx here. And while Lynx hasn't gotten a kill so far, he has got quite a CS lead going on for the team. And oopsie. That's right, I gotta click back here. You can see that only 500, but the fact that you have a 1-0-1 Kai'Sa, you still have that CS lead and the gold advantage because you got the turret. These are good plays so far for the Blue Otters. And as a team with a lot of players who have played in the tier 2s, you'd expect a lot of that. But now, Music, good flash away to the empowered blast cone. That Destiny Gate that was opened by Cozy, not really doing much. The only thing is it is going to help out the team. Now look towards this Rift Herald. Since both teams got 3 Void Grubs, it's just going to be harassing Shelly. And everybody falling back. Everyone's starting to corral themselves around this objective. Even seeing a nice control ward that got placed pretty deep behind. It has been pinged out by Blue Otter, so they know it's there. There's the TP. And again, Cozy having gone for the Ghost and Flash here. A little bit more mobility, a little bit better on those side lanes. Does also mean that you don't have those angles as easily, so you use your ult. And TP, it's all going to be on Dillon on those TP angles. It is really funny, though, because this is the 32 seed against the number 1 seed on paper. But you can tell how these two teams are playing, that there's a lot of respect for everybody. They're not playing like you normally would see a number 1 seed play against a number 32 seed. Not quite a bloody matchup. There's a lot of respect even right there. Samikin, good read on Baeko showing up into the bot lane. Dillon getting a lot of damage there as he keeps throwing another rock, another pebble at Samikin. Seismic Shove not going to connect the inner flame, but there are so many members. Flash away, Magna Storm with the killer instinct does pick up the kill onto Samikin. 4 committed for the play, but the execute. Dal Byul actually got executed. No damage was done by Samikin onto Rel. Because 4 members got committed there. Rift Herald will be popped mid lane. Jelly going to collide into the structure, and all the while Lawrence getting a lot of damage onto that tier 2 top lane. That's going to be a huge shift of gold, so you might have gotten the kill on the Karma, but at what cost here? That's going to be 2 charges for Shelly? Music does have to be careful. He does bounce back. That's going to be the Weaver's Wall, cutting off any escape. The kick onto Lynx with the Seismic Shove. Alley-oop scoop shut down there for Shellfish, with Lawrence having to flash away as well. Trying to go for the re-engage. Music trying to create a little bit of distance. Cease and desist, but nobody can follow that up. It's a double kill for Shellfish, getting 4 kills now on Kai'Sa. Beautiful answer from the side of Misfits. Getting all that gold back and far more, as now, with 4 members still strong here, they should be able to topple this tier 1 structure. Though without the minions, it is getting risky. Trying so hard. Poke! And with the help of the turret, Samikin actually strikes back onto Cozy. This is where things are getting way too messy. Seismic Shove again. Dillon finding another kill with those pulls back in. They didn't get the turret. The dragon has respawned here. Oh, sorry. What am I saying? It's not the... My brain's dumb. It's not the Infernal Rift. I should have known because it's empowered plants that it's the Kentex Soul. So you're probably all making fun of me in the comments, which is perfectly fair. I understand that. But here we go. Bolt Breaker connects. Low health bars. Dal Byul re-engages a huge Magna Storm, but you're retracting all the attention onto yourself because you knew your team needed to escape. You were the sacrificial lamb. With the dragon now. The play attempted by Blue Otters. Things went from both teams giving a lot of respect to one another, being calm, collected, playing macro games, to a lot of craziness. A lot of wild plays. Wild West. Flash going over, but no smite there. Ward hop away. Baeko could not deny the 3rd dragon being picked up by Blue Otter. All right, we get a little bit of a respite here. It's funny. Maybe I cast or curse them. I'm like, both teams a lot of respect. Playing cautiously. Good macro calls. And then suddenly, boom, 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 boom. What was that? We had like, I think it was like a 4-3 on the kills before that. Suddenly we have a lot of structures falling. A lot of kills picked up. We got Selfish now. 2 items completed on Kai'Sa. But it is up against Samikin, who has also got 2 items completed here on Karma. Malignant, one of the big ones as well. Man, that is going to make these inner flames do a lot of damage when you land the mantra Qs. You got to land them in the first place. That's going to be the big thing. There's a low range composition, for the most part, out of Misfits. That's where this Karma does have a lot of high value. The shields you get for the team, the roots you can get, but most importantly, the damage that is hard to avoid for a lot of these players on the side of Misfits. The Blue Otters going back to the drawing board, going back to what they were doing before, playing it patiently, trying to secure control. As I was saying before, a lot of these players have played in Tier 2, played in NACL. Lynx and rovex, looking at them, especially music as well. These are players that have a lot of training, a lot of understanding of how to play games quickly, but also making sure you're gaining control, gaining knowledge over your opposition. So that way, when you do go for these plays, well, yes, there is always going to be some risk factor. There are the mechanics that are required in the game. Maybe brings a little bit more onto your side, a little bit more in your favor. Gold's still dead even, though, between the two squads. Really, it is the Dragons now that will make or break the upcoming fights. Because if you look at the compositions for each side, it's ADTF now 2 items strong, especially with the rapid fire cannon. Gold card, and then all that damage you get with the help of the Kraken Slayer. And your, okay, what is it called again? It is called Stack Deck. Your Stack Deck passive. Couldn't remember that for a second. Look, usually you don't have to worry about Stack Deck, because usually that's not a factor since it's AP. But Blue Otters spotted out. That's going to be the blue trinket. Trying to force out that Destiny Gate. They go for the engage. Baeko is going to be the target. Flashing away, barely surviving. Weaver's Wall does cut him off with a huge engage with a pullback in on the rovex, but instead they're turning their attention, and it will be the first kill onto Rel. Dal Byul, then Dillon, sliced apart and shut down. While they do lose Lawrence, it is a 2-for-1 trade at the moment. Blue Otter unable to get the Destiny Gate pop, but picking up 2 kills for themselves. There's the Destiny Gate. Now spotting him out. Does seem that Twisted Fate more just trying to get information, reconnaissance. The team can now collapse in the mid lane, get a little bit of damage onto that tier 2. Samikin was already on the retreat, had already gone back. Actually, I don't know if he got a full back there or if he just purely TP'd into mid lane to make sure the turret didn't fall. This is where having a color caster is nice. But it's okay. Get better at casting by doing solo cast, because then I am also forced to understand color points, understand what is happening on the map. Also can learn some new things myself. Gotta teach myself as we go, you know? And I'm A-okay, by the way. Anyone watching this, if you want to make fun of me in the YouTube comments, that is totally cool. I'm okay with that. Be like, yeah, he doesn't know this. That's fine, because then I can learn. Or if you like the cast, that's also cool. Well, what is it? What is the YouTube thing? The like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Check out the Patreon, etc., etc. Okay, that's enough sellout stuff. Let's get back into this game between Blue Otters. Again, don't have much of a gold lead here. It might be the #1 seed against the 32 seed, but really, I feel like these are 2 top 5 teams facing off against one another. Dragon spawning here in 10 seconds. This could be the Chemtech Soul. Not really the strongest of souls, but a soul's a soul. They got a lot of damage there on Dal Byul with the engage on a Selfish, who uses the killer instinct to get away. But look at how much space has been created with rovex finally falling. No, he survives for so long. But 2 are dead on the side of Blue Otter. Poke continuing to come out from Misfits, as they've already gotten the mid-jungle duo out of there, only trading their support. They will deny the Chemtech Soul going into the paws of Blue Otters. Good way to split up the fight there by Misfits. Dal Byul did a really good job of kind of making sure that there's a lot of attention split focus by Blue Otter. Even myself, it's hard to kind of keep up with either side of the fight because Blue Otters really did want to kill this Kai'Sa. So important to actually take her out of the fight, especially because it is the hybrid build. So these W's, these Void Seekers, do a lot of damage. In fact, is she fully evolved on them? Let's see. I don't believe so. Not yet. Where is she? Hold on. Let's find out. Yeah, she is. Oh, wait, no. That's on that one. On this one? Oh, yeah, she is as well. Okay. Figured she might have, and she should be. But having not leveled it up, that explains why it's not doing very much damage. I was wondering. I'm like, these Void Seekers aren't doing all too much. But only putting 1 point into it. That explains a lot. Alright, Misfits having gotten themselves a minor gold lead now. But still, it's not really much. It's not like they're gaining all too much. The biggest thing, though, is this is a composition that does scale really well. Especially with Kai'Sa, even the 80 TF, Talia. All these factors are going to be really difficult for Blue Otters to contend against. They have a composition that is built up around empowering Lynx and Lawrence. And Lynx is 2-2-2. It's not like he's very fed. Lawrence, 1-1. Even looking at the gold, Lawrence is behind gold. Here of Cozy. You even see that it's you know, pretty much dead even between Lynx and Selfish here. So there's these elements of Blue Otters that just aren't where they needed to be. Yes, they have gotten the dragon stacking. That is helping them out. As the game continues, this Kai'Sa is going to get more difficult to deal with. You already see how much damage can be dealt by Dillon. Of course, Samikin's not going to be any slouch here on AP Karma as well. You saw just one Mantra Q landing on to Dal Byul. How much damage that did. Dal Byul. D-A-L space B-Y-U-L. I hope I'm saying that right. Alrighty. Blue Otters. There's wards already placed down here, but they do a lot of damage really quickly, especially for Lynx. Cozy's on the other side. Does get tagged. A little bit of damage. Baeko dashing away. Weaver's wall kind of keeping him locked in. Tries to go in the steal there. Baeko! Make sure that play did not work out, and they even get a trade of 1-for-1 with the Destiny Gate open. With a Baron secured by the Misfits. With the engage, huge Magic Storm with a huge seismic shove. Wombo combo. 32-seeded Misfits toppling the #1 seeded team. What a play right there. Beautifully done. Dal Byul saw the angle, went right for it. Dillon answering perfectly with the seismic shove. And here they could end the game, actually. They've got the minions. Misfits, this game went from dead even to the #32 seed, toppling the team that won the first Open Qualifiers here in 2024 Spring.